When you look at this first year, what's been the biggest adjustment for you? What's been most startling or hardest for you to get used to in a customized environment?
Well, it's been difficult for me to adjust to the style it is. I mean, you basically it's all on you. There's a lot more responsibility to this. You are given your textbook and you are expected to finish whatever class you have chosen or classes you have chosen by your deadline, which could be the end of the year or halfway through the year. It just depends.
Mm-hmm. So with Customize, you have some options on how fast you go through materials.
Yes.
Do you have also some options of choice where you get to say, well, I'd rather do this part rather than this part? Do you have any choice options?
Yes, you can choose. Like I have English right now, English and science. Now, right now, I've chosen because I got a little bit behind in English, so I chose to work on that for about a week. And today I decided to work on more science because I wanted to make sure I was still keeping track on that. So
you were able to focus on things
yes,
more than you would
yeah.
in a similar setting. Um, when you look at this customized environment, how is your relationship with the teacher different?
Well, they're more there just to help you. They explain things, but you mostly have to ask them to explain them for you. Otherwise, you rely on the book and just your prior knowledge, but they are there if you have questions on what you are learning.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not alone.
So do you have more time to talk to teachers then, or how does that work? What does it look like when if the teacher's not in front doing the direct instruction? How do you interact with the teacher then?
Well, you would go up to their desk and you would ask them, how do I do this? And then you sit down and they tell you how to do it and explain it to you.
So, with students, if everybody's kind of at their own pace and moving, I mean, is everyone just completely individualized, or are there times when you actually work in small groups with other students, or how does that look?
There's a lot of working together with other students. You definitely don't want to be on your own, unless that's how you like to work. I have a few friends in middle college, and I work a lot with them.
Mm-hmm.
They're definitely help to me. So they explain things in ways that I can understand because they're in the same position that I am.
So you may not even be necessarily in the same places, but you still find ways to help each other, even
Yeah.
if you're not.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Do you find that with working with students, is it more of a distraction, or do you find that working with other students in that way actually helps you to focus?
Well, it's all up to the student. I mean, they can be a distraction, but if you actually are focused and you're working on your actual work and not messing around, then yes, they do help you focus, but otherwise they can be a distraction. I will say that.
I think sometimes teachers or even adults or parents get nervous about the idea of students kind of being more responsible and handling their pace, that students will just squirrel away the time and get behind and never get caught up.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you deal with that?
Well, it's more like you have to learn these responsibilities at some point. I guess the earlier is the better because then you have more time to practice with it in high school before you actually get out into the real world. It's definitely different. I guess it's a good experience.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. I don't think there's anything really bad about it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can get behind, but it is all up to the students. So.
What do they have in place to help keeping you from just whiling away your time?
Each month they have a deadline. Like in science, in physical science for this month, I have to be halfway through the chemistry unit, and I'm about ready to take the test for the unit before that. So, I'm about on pace for that.
Okay.
So yeah.
How do teachers give you feedback that you're doing okay? I mean, what does it look like? I mean, normally in a very traditional setting, it's you get quizzes and tests
Mm-hmm.
and you get percentages back, but most time it's kind of at the end rather.
Yeah.
How do teachers make it more formative to help you move forward?
Well, each week you have to write a email to your parents, and the teachers will tell you if you are behind. And so if you are behind, you have to tell your parents and let them know that you'll be staying after school or coming in before school. So it's more of like motivation so that you don't have to come in before or after school. They just tell you, okay, you're behind, you have to stay after school now. So
Now, sometimes I think people think that, customized learning is great for the kids who want to go through fast, but it's going to be really bad for the slow kids. Do you see it the same way, or how do you see it?
well, it's up, like I said, it's up to the kid. I mean, it's not right for everyone. Some people are just a little bit slower. They need more time to learn things, and the important thing is to learn the content, not to just speed through high school.
Mm-hmm.
You do need to learn it, so.
So do you find this system allows you to spend more time to learn it right?
Yeah, I have to think about it more because I have to explain it to myself for the most part. I have to tell myself, okay, this looks like the right way to do it, but if it's not, then the teachers are there, so.
Mm-hmm. So do you find yourself thinking about your own learning more in this kind of
Yeah.
environment?
Yeah, it's more like I should actually be learning this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like, oh no, I need to get done. I mean, but you need to learn it. So
Mm-hmm.
it's best not to slack off too much though. You need to get it done, but you still need to learn it at the same time.
How do your parents? It's a different system than what they're
Mm-hmm.
used to. How do they embrace this? Is it okay? Is it something they're nervous about? Where do your parents fall on this?
Well, they think it's up to me. I mean, I chose to do this, so they're like they tell me, okay, if like I got behind a little bit, but they're like, okay, you have to make up your time. That's fine. They're not they're mostly chill about it, but they I don't know. They're not too strict.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, my mom will tell me to go do homework, but otherwise it's pretty much up to me. So
Well, speaking of up to me, let's say you're the superintendent of the school district now, and you want to take this even farther. What is it that you would do to make customized learning even more embedded in what you do right now? Or what's the next stage that the school should be doing that they're not doing now?
well, I guess they're doing about as much as they can. They're telling the new middle schoolers that this is an option, but I think one thing they could do is let some of the older upperclassmen like join into this type of learning because they kind of missed out. Like this program came in before some of the juniors and seniors were here, so I think they could let them know that this is still a possibility for them, but I'm not sure exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there any way in which the instruction is done that you would like to see different or extended further, or
Like the teachers instructing us?
or the way you do your curriculum, or the way they do the grading? Is there anything that you would change to make it better?
Well, not really. There's assignments, but most of them are not graded. So if you want to actually learn the material, you do the assignments. I think that makes it easier for it to be up to the student. It's not like you have to do this. If you you choose your own homework for the most part. Like I can choose to do a worksheet, or I can choose not to if I know the material, and that makes it a lot more interesting, I guess would be the way to say it. But yeah.
Sometimes you hear people say that teachers really aren't teaching now, but in some ways it's hard to communicate that they're just teaching in a different way. How would you explain to someone that the way teachers are working with you is still teaching?
Well, it's definitely still teaching. I mean, you you still have the books. The books tell you how to do things, but it's not like the teachers leave you alone. They're definitely there to support you and help you with things you don't understand. You're not all on your own. It's not really a program that you're all like you're just by yourself. You have your classmates and your teachers that are definitely there to help you.
Would you say that you feel a little bit more of a partnership with teachers in this environment than the traditional?
Yes, they're more personal with each student. Like, we have our assigned teachers, and each week we get together and we write an email to our parents and we explain how we're doing and what we plan to do better next week, and eventually just throughout the course of the year.
Okay. Well, I've got plenty more questions, but I think I should maybe switch off here. But did you have anything, Ryan, that you wanted to ask me?
So if you're given the option to stay in this personalized learning environment, or go back to a traditional classroom where teachers in front and you sat in rows, what would your choice be at this point?
Definitely to stay in this. I really enjoy it. It gives me the opportunity to teach myself, and I can learn at the pace that I guess that I work at. So that's best for me. I guess it depends on the student though.
And those skills that you're learning, you say, learning at your own pace, learning how to learn. Do you think that's going to help you down the road in the future?
Definitely. It's. I mean, you have to learn to. You're gonna be independent. I mean, you have to support yourself, and this is a good way to start out and learn that yourself. So.
Good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you very much.